welcome back to See Today with me, Laras Ardia. And now we're gonna talk about Indonesian football and how Indonesian football can develop further the safety and security management of the Indonesian football matches. And to welcoming this year's Indonesian football matches, the Indonesian Police Headquarters, in collaboration with Coventry University, hold a specific training regarding the stadium safety management. And to know more about this training program, here we are with all the involved people around here. So there's Professor of Mike Hardy. He's the instructor from the Coventry University, and the Senior Commissioner Wahyu Bintono. And representative of the participant, Mr. Patilatu from the Indonesian Football Association, as well as the representative from the National Security Officer. So yes, before we are going to move forward, we will start the discussion with Prof. Mike Hardy. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for being here with us today. And first and foremost, let's talk about the training program here with Indonesian Police Headquarters. How was the training so far, and what have you shared with the participants during the training, and what are the key highlights of the training program?
So we've been very pleased to work with the Indonesian police, who are determined to strengthen the approach that they take, the contribution they make to stadium security, and to the exciting growth of the sport in Indonesia, which is so important. So what we've done at Coventry University is we have a centre which focuses very much on protection and protective security. And I've listened carefully to the needs of the Indonesian police, their request for support. And I've brought some very special experts with me from Scottish police, from former stadium security leaders who've worked on the Olympic Games, on Commonwealth Games, on some of the UEFA and World Cup. So bringing experience with the single intention of raising awareness, raising understanding, helping the Indonesian partnerships to set their agenda for change and agenda for strengthening. So we haven't arrived here with a suitcase of solutions. That's not the intention. The intention here is to bring a resource that can help strengthen awareness about some of the practices that we can bring from other geographies.
So Mike, how do you see that the diversity of communities here in Indonesia specifically, and then the diverse of the fans, football fans here in Indonesia?
It's very different here from many other places, as you would expect. So there's very strong regional rivalry in Indonesia. That's reflected in other walks of life, not just sport. Whereas in the UK, in our cities, we have families that are divided between two teams. So a family in Manchester might have members of the family supporting Manchester United and some Manchester City, two of our big clubs. And this could be very fierce rivalry around the breakfast table. Whereas here in Indonesia, my observations so far are that tends to be more regional. So the big cities will have their rivalries. So it's slightly different. But in all cases, it's how we can influence behavior, both inside the stadium and outside, how we can work together to build a safer context and environment.
So next we're talking about the security and safety management in Indonesian football here. So one of the important things is also the police role here, right? So what are the mandatory skills and also abilities that police officers should have?
So our observations and discussions so far show that certainly our partners in the police here are very concerned to grow their awareness and understanding of their role. And they're only part of the system, as they know very well. So at our training over the last few days, we've had not just the police, but also other stakeholders from the Ministry of Sport, from the Ministry of Health, from other people that are engaged. So I think clarity about role is really important. And we've talked about the importance of 3 C's, of communication, collaboration, and coordination. And if you think about the role that policing has generally in security, those three apply not just in football, but in nearly every walk of life and every sector. And I've been really encouraged, I have to say, by the interest, the concern to improve collaboration between all stakeholders, communication, two-way communication, and coordination, which means that the complex nature of a football match can be managed safely and securely.
And what do you think, how to coordinate and synergize these complex systems? Do you think that there is a key aspects that we need to consider?
So the discussions we've had this week have shared, I think what we've heard is that there's a real belief in clarity of responsibility. So who is in charge, at what moment, who has the command and that can control the circumstance. And the less centralized command there is, the more of self-management, then the better the chances. So I think it's about clarity of responsibility, really.
Clarity of who is in charge
Yeah.
in doing what and when and where, right? Yeah, okay. Thank you very much, Mike Hardy. So we're gonna move forward to Bapak Wahyu Bintono. Boleh diceritakan Bapak, dijelaskan bagaimana training ini awalnya diinisiasikan, kemudian bagaimana kolaborasi antara Polri dengan Coventry University di dalam security and safety management training ini.
Ya, baik. Terima kasih. Bahwa di Indonesia ini sepak bola boleh dibilang sebagai olahraga yang supporternya paling banyak dan mungkin paling meriah. Kemudian juga olahraga sepak bola ini hampir merata di seluruh wilayah di tanah air. Di kampung-kampung, kemudian di kota-kota, daerah-daerah, sampai dengan di kota-kota besar ini hampir ada stadion-stadion atau fasilitas sepak bola. Masyarakat Indonesia itu begitu tinggi antusiasmenya terhadap pertandingan sepak bola. Nah, di sini setiap pertandingan sepak bola ini tentunya selain merupakan kegiatan yang positif, menyehatkan, menggembirakan, menyenangkan, juga memiliki potensi kerawanan. Memiliki potensi kerawanan di situ, mulai dari ya terjadinya mungkin penganiayaan, kericuhan, terjadinya mungkin aksi-aksi pelemparan, yang itu merupakan bentuk-bentuk gangguan Kamtibmas. Dan juga kita tahu bersama bahwa di cabang olahraga sepak bola ini pun bisa terjadi aksi-aksi yang berskala besar, gitu, rusak-rusakan, bakar-bakaran begitu. Nah, di sini Polri sebagaimana amanat Undang-Undang Nomor 2 tahun 2022, ulangi 2002 tentang Kepolisian Negara Republik Indonesia ini kan memiliki tugas pokok mulai dari memelihara Kamtibmas, kita menegakkan hukum, serta memberikan perlindungan, pengayoman, dan pelayanan kepada masyarakat. Juga termasuk di dalamnya ini berkaitan dengan penyelenggaraan pertandingan cabang olahraga sepak bola tentunya gitu. Nah, juga Polri dalam rangka memberikan rasa aman kepada masyarakat terkait dengan penyelenggaraan event atau pertandingan sepak bola ini tentunya terus melakukan langkah-langkah perbaikan, penyempurnaan, baik itu dari regulasi, kemudian juga sistem pengamanan. Nah, juga dalam hal ini belum lama Polri itu telah menerbitkan regulasi dalam bentuk Peraturan Kepolisian Negara Republik Indonesia Nomor 10 Tahun 2022 tentang penyelenggaraan pengamanan kompetisi olahraga, yang mana di situ juga secara jelas mengatur tentang pengamanan kompetisi sepak bola. Iya.
Bisa dijelaskan mungkin Pak, apa saja program yang dijalankan, kemudian objektif atau tujuan kedepannya dari dijalankannya training security management ini?
Ya, baik. Jadi program-program yang memang diajarkan di kegiatan kursus ini tentunya mulai dari pra penyelenggaraan pertandingan di situ. Mulai dari proses perizinannya, kemudian juga proses ada namanya risk assessment ya, penilaian risiko stadion yang akan digunakan. Juga termasuk bagaimana menyusun administrasi rencana pengamanan yang baik melalui rapat koordinasi dengan lintas sektoral, dengan instansi terkait ya. Karena sepak bola ini tidak bisa Polri berdiri sendiri. Karena di situ menyangkut ada sarana prasarana stadion, di situ ada stakeholder seperti Kementerian PUPR, kemudian juga ada dalam pertandingan sepak bola, di situ pasti ada layanan kesehatan, di situ ada Kementerian Kesehatan, dan juga ada PSSI selaku yang menaungi ya cabang olahraga sepak bola itu juga memiliki peran yang signifikan, sehingga dalam pra pertandingan ini kita sudah harus ya tadi kerjasama itu melalui komunikasi, koordinasi, kolaborasi yang baik. Demikian, Mbak.
Baik, terima kasih Pak Wahyu. Berarti training atau kursus yang diberikan sangat cukup komprehensif, mulai dari pra pengamanan,
Sebelum,
pengamanan
pada saat.
sampai dengan pasca pengamanan gitu ya Pak. We talk more about the training with one of the participants here with us, Mr. Patilatu.
Yes.
How are you, Mr. Patilatu?
Fine.
So yeah, first of all, tell us the experience and what have you learned so far during this training program with the Indonesian Police Headquarters.
And I'm so happy because I have the one experience from the Mr. Hardy and the friend about the one letter agreement for the cross commando. If there the crisis accident at the stadium during the match, we must have to buy the letter to the cross commando.
So yeah, Mr. Patilatu, as one of the participants here in the training with Indonesian Police Headquarters, the security safety management, right? Tell us, how do you see differently in this training? Is there any new methods or program that specifically train about the security management system?
Because the regulation same with the FIFA regulation and AFC regulation. We have just one learning about the cross command in the military or police. How if there the crash of the match, crash the match. If the crash is during the crisis, the safety and security officer give the command to the police. Yes. If the clear, this is the crisis, the police come back, give the safety and security officer. This is the new learning for me.
Yeah, I really agree. How we can actually create a clear guidelines of who is in charge. If I'm not mistaken, you've mentioned about that. Dan untuk Pak Wahyu, mungkin bagaimana guideline yang sudah dibuat mungkin ya terkait dengan responsibility masing-masing officer yang bertugas dalam crisis management itu sendiri gitu. Apa yang sudah dibuat dan seperti apa pelaksanaannya, Pak Wahyu?
Ya, baik. Jadi kalau kami dari kepolisian itu tetap acuannya aturan yang ada ya, yang telah dibuat dalam hal ini, yaitu terkait dengan pertandingan sepak bola itu regulasinya diatur di Peraturan Kepolisian Nomor 10 tahun 2022. Nah, di situ memang sudah secara jelas diatur tugasnya bahwa untuk personil Polri yang ditunjuk itu dalam hal mengamankan jalannya pertandingan sepak bola, dia sesuai dengan tupoksinya bertanggung jawab dan mengendalikan anggota Polri dan anggota atau personil dari instansi lain yang terlibat pengamanan dalam menjalankan cara bertindak secara teknis. Katakanlah bagaimana mensikapi ketika supporter itu sudah mulai ricuh atau lebih parah lagi anarkis. Nah, namun demikian kegiatan yang dilakukan oleh personel pengamanan ini yang tadi dikomandani seorang katakanlah perwira itu tidak bisa lepas daripada koordinasi dengan atau tadi lintas komando ya dengan safety and security officer.
So finally, what a great conversation with you guys. And maybe for the final question, what will be your hope for the future of Indonesian football and how we can develop a better environment for the football matches in the future? Maybe Mike, you want to go first?
I'm so pleased that the awareness that's raised, we have a very good student here.
Yeah,
and we've learned a great deal. But the critical point is that when you have a lot of people in one place, you always have risk. And how can we as stakeholders, people concerned about protection and security of those very people, whether it's in a shopping mall or a cinema or a football ground, these are complex situations. And as was pointed out, the key discussions we've had this week is how do we know when to transfer responsibility to those agents who are most able to secure the safety. And so my hope for the future is to continue to open the collaboration between the various stakeholders, to make sure that the stewards are in touch with the fans and that know when to transfer to the police, and the police know when to transfer, when to escalate if the crisis emerges. But remember, most football matches have no crisis. They have good games and they have good enjoyment. But we must work together for those very few cases where there's a problem. So my hope is that we minimize those few cases together.
Yeah, we really hope that we can enjoy the football games, right? With all the friends and family as well.
That's right.
With no crisis at all, right? So Pak Wahyu, mungkin bisa dijelaskan apa yang menjadi harapan ke depannya untuk sepak bola Indonesia, terutama dalam segi pengamanannya.
Ya, baik. Tentunya ke depan harapan saya ini untuk setiap penyelenggaraan pertandingan sepak bola di semua level, baik itu level di daerah, kemudian level provinsi, nasional maupun internasional khususnya, ini bisa berlangsung secara tertib, aman, nyaman, dan juga sukses ya. Karena disitulah sesuai dengan bidang tugas kami, bagaimana tentunya Polri ini dituntut untuk selalu memberikan rasa aman kepada masyarakat. Karena sepak bola ini kan tadi yang saya katakan ini memang olahraga yang menarik ya, berbeda dengan olahraga cabang lainnya. Karena di sini menyangkut supporter yang banyak, di situ multi effect player juga luas gitu. Nah, tentunya kalau itu bisa berlangsung aman, tertib, terkendali gitu kan tentunya juga ini efeknya juga positif.
Baik, Pak Patilato.
I hope the next for the spectator or the fans can watching the game enjoy and happy because the football family is the many big match for you. They are watching the football.
So we really hope that many Indonesian football fans also can enjoy their football match, their football teams with safety environment, health environment as well, and hopefully that by doing this training program of the security management, we are hoping or preparing for better, safer environment of the Indonesian football matches. Thank you very much, Professor Mike Hardy, Bapak Wahyu, and thank you, Mr. Patilato, for your discussion today with us. So that's wrap up our discussion for today. My name is Laras Ardia, and with all the crew here, signing out. Bye-bye.